Cheap Not Broke fam, what's going on? What's happening? Hope everybody's doing good, doing well. Welcome back to my channel, Cheap Not Broke, where we talk about saving money and getting the most value out of the money you have, because you'd rather be cheap than be broke. Because there's a lot of broke people out there. There's even more cheap people out there. But in order to be cheap, you gotta have money. But anyway, what do we want to talk about tonight? Get right into it. Want to talk about this Super Bowl, man, because the NFL is pimping people. I did not know they were not paying folks. That is utterly ridiculous. So we're gonna get it right into it. Before we do, if you get a chance, go to cheapnotbroke.com. Grab a t-shirt, grab some merch, support. We appreciate the support. Support helps me keep this channel going, helps me buy all these cameras and all this other stuff so I can do all these good things and keep bringing the live news and bringing all the good stuff to you all. Also, if you're in Los Angeles, please, March 18th, I got a comedy show coming out. I have a comedy show. So come out and enjoy and listen to some comedy. Yes. So we want to get right into it because I like to get straight to the point. I like to jump in like the pool. Why is the NFL not paying their artists? Well, let's give some backstory. If you haven't heard, the NFL originally, their halftime show was BS. It was bad. They didn't have a lot going on there. They had some they had ring toss. They had the band. People were out there chasing bulls, riding donkeys, all kind of stuff at the halftime show, chasing bugs. Like what the people up there smacking bugs? Nobody don't do that. Halftime show was really bad up until the 90s. In the 90s, they started getting some bigger and better artists to come out, especially like the biggest one they had was Michael Jackson. I think it was in 93. Michael Jackson, 92, 93, one of those years. But when Michael Jackson came out, it really set it off. Michael Jackson and, of course, Whitney Houston. Those are two really memorable Super Bowls that people had. I don't think Whitney Houston performed at the halftime show, but she did sing the national anthem. But anyway, the Super Bowl was garbage, and it wasn't doing very well. So the NFL, they started bringing some more talent in. Of course, the NFL is a business. They're all about making money. The NFL is really about that ad revenue. They make a lot of money on ad revenue. Well, not the NFL, of course, the CBS, Fox, or whoever hosted it, but I think it's Fox. Fox has had the NFL Super Bowl for the last couple of years. But anyway, the Super Bowl, they did not have good artists, and it was boring. I guess people were changing the channel, weren't watching. So they started bringing in bigger names, but they weren't paying them. Because currently, what people haven't really discussed is the NFL has some huge TV deals, and they're even getting bigger. The NFL has a TV deal with ESPN, because that's where you see Monday Night Football. They have a deal with CBS. You see football games on CBS. You see AFC games on CBS. You see NFC games on Fox, right? And then who else do you have? NFC, Fox, ABC. You don't have too many games. So most of the NFL is on CBS and on Fox for the most part. And then you have NBC, which is that Thursday night games? NBC's on Thursday nights. So they kind of spread the wealth when it comes to these TV deals. These TV deals are like $1 billion. Every time they have to renegotiate the CBA, they're talking about the TV deals because they're getting all this money. The players like, hey, you got to pay us too. The TV money is humongous. And then from this TV money, each of the teams, they get divvied up and they make money. So the teams make money no matter what. Whether the teams win or lose, they're going to get some money because of these TV deals. They're so big. They get a lot of money. So what I'm saying is this. The NFL makes a ton of money, whether that's these huge TV contracts, whether it's licensing, ticket sales, concessions. Oh, come on. They're making money hand over fist. But the TV deals, that's a real big source of revenue for the NFL. And with that being said, they do have the halftime show. Now, it's only once a year, one time a year. And there's 32 owners, and they're all making what? Let's say north of 20 million, 30 million a year. Even if all the owners paid the artist $100K, they can afford to pay them. Now, currently, why don't they pay the artist? Because to the artist, it's supposed to be beneficial. Why didn't Rihanna get paid? Because according to Well, the NFL watching the Super Bowl is supposed to be like the biggest marketing publicity stunt you can ever have. You know, you got 200 people watching, you got all these commercials, you're on there for 15 minutes. So people naturally, they may not know who you are. They're going to start watching, Google you, check you out, and see what's going on. They're going to look at all your stuff and see what you got going. And with that being said, that'll increase your ticket sales. So you get matched, you got 200 people watching you, never heard of you. Oh yeah, you're gonna get, even if you get like 20% of that, that's gonna be a lot of money for you. So why do the artists do it for free currently? Because it's the big promotion for them. They get a lot of exposure. Apparently, a couple weeks ago, years ago, when the Weeknd performed at the Super Bowl party, he put in $7 million of his own money because, like I said, the NFL doesn't pay. Now, from what I understand, they do foot the bill for the production of the show, but they don't pay the artists to perform. Now, recently, what I found out is the NFL does not pay the dancers. They had to go fight and get a contract, and currently the dancers are making $15 an hour in some states. It's very state to state because the Super Bowl moves around. But apparently, before that, the dancers were not getting paid. So everybody out there, you can imagine if the artist is not getting paid, the biggest name out there is not getting paid. How much are the artists, the people who are setting up the stage, everybody who's running around, setting the stage up, tearing the stage down, the artists, all the people in the background, running the lights, how much are they getting paid? Nothing. They're not getting paid any money because you got to imagine if Rihanna didn't get paid, nobody else is getting paid. I guess it's up to the artists. They want to pay everybody, but if I'm not getting paid, I'm not paying anybody. That's just how it works. So this is an interesting thing. But the fact of the matter is the NFL can afford to pay. They have plenty of money to pay. They find the players. The NFL is cheap. The NFL is cheap. When the players don't show up on time, they get fined. The NFL looks for all kind of ways to find players and get money back. They're always looking for getting money back. And then when talent doesn't work out, what do? They let you go. They cut you. They save money, just like all companies. But yeah, if you're not living up to your contract, you're out of there. And they're going to do it to save money. And they just like Derek Carr. Derek Carr just got let go, Monday? Oh, was it Monday, Tuesday? Was it? He got let go this week. And he got let go a day before his contract was due. $30 million. They're not about to pay you. Now, coaches, they get let go. They still get paid because their contracts are different. They're not, based off of physical performance. They're not going to get hurt. So coaches' contracts are still guaranteed. And they get paid out even though they get fired. But players are not. So the NFL, these owners are always looking for ways to save money. Don't be fooled out here. They're not paying because they don't want to. Now, is this a great opportunity? Absolutely. You'd be crazy to turn down an opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl. Now, I do get it. Some people, it's just not worth it. It's like, look, I get all the exposure, I get all the stuff, but you still should pay me. You guys are billionaires and you just don't want to pay because you just don't want to, which is insanity. They should set aside everybody should set aside at least $100,000 for everybody to get some money. $100,000, 32 teams. What is that? 10 teams, 100,000. That's $1 million. 20 teams. That's me. So that's what, 3.2. That's about $3.2 million. If all the teams set aside $100,000, 30 teams, 100,000. That's about $3.2 million. You can pay those artists. I just don't see what the problem is. You should pay these people. But the NFL is cheap. They are cheap, and nobody's saying that. Now, I'm cheap, not broke. As you see, you go to cheapnotbroke.com and grab a shirt. Now, I'm cheap, not broke. However, the NFL is really cheap. These people have billions and billions of dollars, and nobody is paying. Ridiculous. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But that's what's going on out here, and that's what they're doing. And look, I'm a comedian. I get this so much. I hear this all the time. Hey, look, you can perform for free, and you'll get some exposure. Well, let me tell you about exposure. Now, the Super Bowl, yes, absolutely. You're going to get all the exposure you want. A lot of times in the comedy clubs, they don't pay you because they're saying you're going to get exposure. Performing in some of these clubs out here, even when you do get paid, you only make like $15. You don't make a lot of money. But a lot of people perform in the clubs for free because of the exposure, especially as comedians. We need people to hear you tell them. You need people to hear you tell jokes so you can go somewhere else and be seen and move on to the next show and get a bigger and better show. Start making a name for yourself so you can start moving along with your career. So you need to be on quality shows, and comedians. I still do it. I pass up the money to get some exposure so it'll ultimately lead for money. So sometimes you got to pass up money now to get some money later. And that's how things go. You got to think about it like this. For example, it's about value. If you got people who want to be cheap, sometimes being cheap, saving the most money is not the way to go. It's about getting the value. For example, if somebody needs to get to work, okay, you have the option of taking the bus or taking the train. All right. The bus is $2. You can take the bus $2. It takes an hour to ride the bus. Now the train is $4. It costs twice as much, but the train takes 20 minutes. Now, what are you going to do? Now, if you save those $2 over the week, all right, the train is two. I mean, yeah, excuse me. The bus is two, the train is four. If you work 5 days a week, that's $10. If you work 5 days a week with the train, that's $20, right? Now, however, you got to factor in time. Going on the train, going on the bus is an hour there, an hour back. All right. That's 5 hours there, 5 hours back. That's 10 hours a week. Now on the bus, it takes you 20 minutes. So that's 20, 40, 60. Okay. Every 3 days, it's taking you an hour to get there. It takes you an hour a day. So when we factor in the amount of time, if I take the train, I'm losing an hour. I'm losing 1 hour and 40 minutes. If you ride I'm losing 1 hour and 40 minutes there. So you're losing, 20 minutes. God damn, I'm fucking on my math. All right, 20. Oh shit, you got. Forgive me. Dang. Crap. Didn't mean to say that. But what I'm saying is the math is there. It's like 20 minutes. 20. I'm all confused. $20. You get $20. All right, it's $20. You get the math. I'm all over the place. But my point is this. My point is I need my calculator. I'm not really good at doing math off the top of my head. My point is this. You're gonna save money immediately when you ride the bus. But over time, you're losing money because you gotta work. You're losing money working. Now the person that's riding the train, they're working longer. So they're gonna make their money back. Even though they're spending more to get to work, they're gonna make all that money back. So it makes plenty of sense to do it. It makes plenty of sense to do this. But you got to think about this stuff. You got to think about value. Just like the NFL. Does it make sense for you to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show for free? Some people it does, some people it doesn't. You just got to figure out and look at, hey, does this make sense to me? Would I perform at the Super Bowl for free? Yes, I would, because I need the exposure. But some people, like a person like Drake, he probably would, because he doesn't need that kind of exposure. Well, anybody can use the exposure. But some people just feel like, hey, I should get paid. Now, Rihanna, of course, Apple Music footed the bill. She got 50%, they paid 50% of the bill, which is great for them. So she didn't have to pay all. She actually got paid to perform. I'm sure Apple paid her a nice check, and they foot the bill for the production. NFL picks up the check for the production, but Apple also picked up some of the bill as well. However, Apple also is now the Apple halftime show. So every time you watch the Super Bowl halftime show, you're going to hear Apple's name, and Apple gets exposed and gets exposure in front of 200 million people, just like Rihanna did. So how many phones you think are going to sell? How many desktops? How many laptops you think are going to sell? A whole lot. Thank you to my one viewer. I appreciate you watching. It's going to sell a whole lot of Apple laptops and different type of products. So it makes sense for Apple to do, and they're going to pay that money, and they're going to get all that exposure. That's like people who pay for commercials. Commercials, I think, are $3 million. No, I think they said $7 million a slot for a 30-second commercial in the Super Bowl. That's a lot of money. However, all the people who are seeing you and all the people who are going to buy your product, you're going to make that money back. So it makes sense. It makes plenty of sense to do it. But I still get why you wouldn't perform the free, because these people are billionaires and not wanting to pay. They're like, well, hey, what the Super Bowl brings to you is going to be worth more than money. I don't think so, because they're not valuing your time. And that's how rich, wealthy people do sometimes. Like, well, look, I'll provide you an opportunity, but I'm not going to pay you. You hear this a lot of times when it comes to like artists and like hairdressers and makeup artists. They don't want to pay you, but they'll give you some exposure, something else. You can come to some dinner with me or something, whatever the case may be. I don't care. I believe you should get your money. Get paid for what you do. Super Bowl is great. Now, in her situation, she's already a billionaire. She doesn't need that money. She will be fine if she doesn't do the Super Bowl. But everyday people taking that exposure, you got to calculate the risk. If I'm going to do this exposure stuff, am I going to make some money? Am I going to get paid? Because sometimes, like in comedy, they'll say, oh, it's some exposure. Well, who's going to be at the show, and where's the show at? Because you want me to perform for free, but who's here? Is this show going to lead? If I'm doing a free show, is it going to lead to my next paid show? Otherwise, hey, I don't know. But hey, it's just how it goes, you know? It's just how it goes. But that's what you got to look into, and you got to see, does it make sense? Does it make sense to do things for free or not? And like I say, it comes back to being cheap. You know, you can be cheap. I'm not doing it for free. My talent is worth something. True, your talent is worth something. But in the long run, this opportunity might end up being $1 million or so. You're going to turn down this opportunity because you want to make $200. Well, fine. Somebody could have went in. You went to this meeting, could have met somebody. They got $100 million. You got $100,000 contract out of the deal. You might have got 2 new vendors, 2 new customers, 2 new clients. Who knows? A lot of things can come out of doing stuff for free. I'm not a big, you got to just weigh the options. Bottom line, weigh the options. Doesn't make sense. It makes sense for her because she has a business. She has a business. But if she was just trying to get some streams, if she wasn't going on tour, you got to have some in the pipeline to do this. If you're gonna do the Super Bowl, something has to make sense in the pipeline for you to do it. Otherwise, you're just out there performing free. You got to capitalize on what you're doing. For me, if I'm going to do a free comedy show, that's fine. I got to make sure I sell t-shirts. I got to make sure I got my wristbands so I can promote my business. Promote the brand so people will sign up for the channel so I can get more than one person watching. So if I'm going to do something for free, I got to make sure I'm getting what I need out of the deal. And I know she made sure she got what she needed out of the deal. And not to mention, she has a deal with Louis Vuitton, LVH. That's like Louis Vuitton. That's who Fenty's with. Man, she has a partnership with one of the richest men on earth. She's solid. She's solid, man. Amazing. And you wonder why she's not going to put out another album. It doesn't make sense. Why would she put out another album? No album is going to pay more than that makeup. She doesn't have to go on the road to sell no makeup. She doesn't have to get dressed up to sell no makeup. She doesn't have to warm up her vocals for no makeup. You just buy the makeup. She did the work selling her music. Now the makeup's going to take care of her. Makes sense. And there's plenty of other artists out there. So give her a break. She's having another baby. Let her slide. Go listen to the other stuff. It's still good. What the heck? My mic was muted. Ain't this a beat? My mic was muted the whole time. But anyway, what was I saying? I have a comedy show March 18th. Please be sure to come out, support, watch the show. It's going to be great. I'm going to have a photographer out there. You can get some good pictures when I video the whole nine. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for you to come out, meet me, come get some Cheap Not Broke merch. And I'm also doing a raffle. I'm having a raffle at the comedy show. So somebody will get an opportunity to win one of these shirts. And I got some other shirts and I got some other goodies and some other good stuff that I'm going to give away during the process of this comedy show. So come out to my comedy show. Come get these jokes. I got some good heat for you. You're going to enjoy it. And if you haven't been to www.cheapnotbroke.com, go watch my special. You're going to enjoy that too. A lot of good, funny stuff going up. But like I said, remember, take a chance. Think about it. Does it make sense to do this for free? Does it make sense to do something for free? Are you going to get something out of the deal? I don't know. Sometimes it makes something to do. Sometimes it makes sense to do some things for free. Sometimes it does not. It just depends on what you're going to get out of the deal. But anyway, I appreciate my one viewer for watching. Anybody else? Thank you. Those who are going to watch this video later, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go follow me on Instagram. And please follow the funny. March 18th, got a comedy show going to be out there. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay cheap, not broke.